Hello, welcome to a presentation, Healthier, Happier Eating Lifestyles. My name is Dr. Abel, and I am on faculty at Florida International University in the Department of Dietetics and Nutrition. And this presentation is provided by Ocean Life Studio, which is a fitness and boutique center with a wellness, and it's located in Miami Beach, Florida. So let's get started. Well, the first thing you want to really understand is that when you go to choose a diet, that you are unique. No two people, even in the same household, have the same food preferences or food habits. We all have these different beliefs around food. We have different spirituality, cultural insights, and of course our food habits that we've developed since we were an infant, food preferences. For example, do you like crunchy food or salty food or sweet foods? Health and metabolism. Where do you fall on the whole continuum of health? Do you have chronic disease? Is your immune system strong? So if you do pick up a germ, are you able to fight it off quickly and easily? Your metabolism is different. How quickly you burn up calories and how you just process through the day. Does your metabolism become real active first thing in the morning? Are you more full of energy later in the evening time? And many more unique qualities. For example, every person has a unique fingerprint. So the first thing that we need to really understand is that we're unique. And even though we may all try a certain diet, we're going to approach it differently. So let's choose the right diet that's for you. Did you know that there are actually top 10 recommended healthy diets available? There are many, many more diets available, but the healthcare professionals, the physicians, the dietitians, the physician assistants recommend certain diets as being very evidence-based literature and solid in recommendations because of how a person becomes healthy by consuming the foods on that diet. So let's define the difference between the word nutrition and diet. Nutrition basically is the food that our bodies need to consume daily for our bodies to function optimally. Where diet is reducing or eliminating certain foods from your daily life. Nutrition is going to include complex carbohydrates, protein, healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and water. Where a diet will provide a roadmap, guidance, planning, even a sense of excitement and hope that this diet is going to bring about something. Some common diets that you maybe follow right now or have in the past include vegetarian, vegan, ketogenic, gluten-free, paleo, blood type diet, and the Mediterranean diet. There are many more diets, but this is just a few examples of some common popular diets that people try. So why do we diet? Well, our beliefs sometimes that we can actually change our physical appearance or a condition that we may have acquired. Social discussions. There are many social networking and discussions around the diet. What diets have you tried? Oh, I'm on this diet and it really works. You need to try this diet. Maybe it's a quick fix. You put on a couple extra pounds and you need to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain event, a wedding, a reunion, high school reunion, a graduation ceremony, something that you want to just for a short period of time really lose a lot of weight quickly. Or maybe you've been influenced by your doctor. You've been told to lose weight or to avoid certain foods. There are many reasons why we should diet. Health, to reduce chances of future health problems. Maybe you have a family member that's had a heart attack or a stroke, and you're thinking, wow, I need to really maybe change my eating patterns because genetically I'm vulnerable. You might think, oh, I want to increase my health span so I can live longer with less age-related disabilities. If I'm going to live to be 100 years old, I want to be a healthy 100 years old. I still want to even maybe run a marathon or do many active things with my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Maybe you want to go on a diet because you just need more energy and vitality. You're kind of sluggish and really low energy throughout the day. There are many specific health issues, allergies, food sensitivities, weight-related illness issues, and medical conditions like lowering your blood pressure or blood lipid profile or your blood sugars. All of these are important reasons why you may want to follow a diet, and it's important that you choose the best diet for these decisions. So let's look at some tips on eating healthier. First, we need to really explore your personal food habits. Why are you choosing the foods that you are? What time are you scheduling meals and eating? Or is it left up to just when you can fit it into your day? What is your snack schedule like? Do you plan ahead for those snacks and meals? Or is it all impulsive and left up to a state of hunger or starvation? What are your food preferences? Why would you choose one certain food over another food? What are your comfort foods? We all have comfort foods. They're often the foods that we grew up with as a child. But these are important to understand. What are your comfort foods? Also, what kind of gastrointestinal issues are you experiencing? Do you have constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? None of these symptoms are life-threatening, but they really interfere with the quality of your life. What foods do you use for celebrations? Not only at big celebrations, but even when you're just celebrating in life. Well, to start to understand your food habits and your history, it is important to maybe keep a food journal. And food journals are very easy to do. You can do it manually on paper and pencil. There are many apps you can use that can record the food type and the amount, or you can do it in your notes section on your smartphone or an Excel spreadsheet on your computer. But it's very important when we start to want to change habits is to understand the habits we have. Often, if you were to go in to set up a budget to analyze your financial situation, you would do the same thing. You would record your spending for about 3 months, just to get enough of an idea of what exactly you're spending your money on. And if it's food, what is your intake of food? So some things that you would want to record are the actual food choice, the type and amount. Was it baked, broiled, fried? Was it frozen, canned? And the amount is very important. Quantity and portion sizes are one of the most recognized approaches that is misunderstood. Even healthcare professionals and even registered dietitians cannot just look at a serving that is on a plate or in a glass and understand the actual size. So it may be important to actually, just for a short period of time, weigh or measure the actual portion sizes you're consuming. This is especially true with carbohydrates like pasta and rice. Many people will think that they had a portion size, let's say, of spaghetti, and a portion size is around a third of a cup. But in reality, most people eat around 2 to 3 cups, which actually would be much more than one serving. The day and the time is very important of when you're choosing to eat. The emotion around the food. Are you feeling angry or stressed or bored or excited? What emotions start to really trigger certain eating habits? Are you alone or with other people while you're eating? Are you in a car driving through a fast food and just eating on the run, or eating in front of some social media or screen time, TVs, computers, iPhones? So starting to look at where you're consuming food, how much it is, what it is, who you're with, and how you're feeling will begin to help you to understand even what types of foods you like. Because often when people go on a diet, sometimes they choose a diet and they don't even like the types of foods that that diet is asking you to eat. So food journals provide documented records. They help you to actually begin to look at and analyze your personal habits. They are a great tool to have a conversation with your physician or your registered dietitian. They can give you incredible insight into personal food habits and your preferences. And the more that you begin to understand you, you'll be able to prioritize what are the most important changes that you want to make to begin to eat healthier and be happier and have a great lifestyle. They're a template or a roadmap to make changes. And we often recommend using what's called the SMART goals. And that's it's an acronym standing for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and within a timeline change. Often we want to make drastic and big changes, and that really leads to a lot of confusion. We as human beings are creatures of habits, and we know that making small incremental changes bring about more of a permanent change in our lifestyle. So even something as simple as maybe you're feeling tired and lethargic, and it could be due to dehydration. So just drinking adequate fluids in a day, and maybe you drink less than 2 cups of water every day. And you didn't even realize that's how little amount of fluid you take in. So maybe you're going to make a SMART goal where I'm going to drink at least 2 full cups of water every morning when I first wake up for the next 2 weeks, and notice if I feel a change at all in with that new intake of water. And then of course, looking at the actual calories that we are consuming through the food intake, and even if possible, some of the macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbohydrates that can play an important role in decision depending on your goal of why you're choosing a diet. Now, there are many blind spots when we start to diet. We have seen many people who go on a lot of different diets, kind of a roller coaster, tried them all, done them all. But what happens is they develop what we call disordered eating patterns. They limit certain foods. There are many diets that limit a whole food group, and this becomes a concern. For example, the ketogenic diet really limits carbohydrates, and that would include fruits and vegetables. And our fruits and vegetables have so many properties in them that are essential for a good immune system. And they have so many vitamins and minerals that are essential for everyday living. The next blind spot is adherence to nutrition-related recommendations can become undesirable. Because of certain diets and the way they're set up, we may not want to listen to the advice from a physician or a registered dietitian because the diet that we have chosen really doesn't allow certain foods on it to maybe correct a health situation. Sometimes the food choices are poor. We don't really understand the diet. And so due to hunger or a lack of satiety, we may actually choose inappropriate foods. We know that increasing the amount of fiber in our diet helps to build a satiety, a feeling of fullness. But when we're hungry, sometimes we maybe divert to something that's very full of a lot of sugar because we actually develop a sweet tooth when we feel that hunger. The nutrition quality of life might bring about a disconnection with family and friends. Some of the pre-plated food diets where you actually buy the actual meal, it becomes awkward to actually go out with in a social event or to friends, and because it's very uncomfortable to actually bring your own meal. I know many people do it, but over a long period of time, this can really alter and affect relationships with other people. There are many things that are going to interact with choosing a diet. Your finances, maintaining your personal budget. So the diet that you choose, some might require more cost than others. How active you are socially and physically. These are very important when, especially if you're trying to lose weight. To be physically active is not only important for losing weight, but for flexibility, for strength and endurance. We know in the elderly population, many of them, because of lack of physical exercise, they lose their muscle tone and their strength. And then sleep. Adequate amounts of sleep are very important, and there are different recommendations for different age groups. But on a general note, it's about 7 to 9 hours. Very important. During sleep, there are hormones that are produced that actually enhance and help with weight loss or weight maintenance. And then, of course, another area is hydration. And just so that you understand, fluid intake recommendations are about 15.5 cups for men and 11.5 cups for women. So this concludes this presentation, but in the very near future, I'm going to go over those top 10 diets. I'm actually going to start with the diet in the 8th place and move to the diet that's in the 1st place. The reason that I'm going to start with the diet in the 8th place is that there are several diets that have tied. And so there'll actually be 10 diets that I'll be going over. So why don't you just jot down what you think are the top 10 healthy diets that are recommended by the healthcare professionals. Again, this video is sponsored by Ocean Life Studio. Their website is on this page and their email. And please call for an appointment. with their wellness team that will provide, they have a medical doctor, a physician assistant, a registered dietitian. They have massage therapy, and they also have a personal trainer that is excellent. His name is Darwin Bodero. They have right now certain presentations actually on Zoom video. But thank you, and I look forward to our next time together in our next presentation.